or see me. All right, let's see who is present. Okay, more and more people are coming now. All right, everyone. So I hope you guys have already watched the yesterday's video, which we had a session about building vocab. This is the second session, so we are continuing the session in a way. So if you have missed the yesterday's session somehow, make sure you watch it. Okay. All right. So in case you have somehow missed the session, make sure you guys watch it. It's vocab building part 1. All right. Okay, Ritik, good evening. Good to see you. So today it's the second session. We would discuss what else can we do to build your vocab, especially if you're targeting CAT 2022. Though if you're targeting CAT 2021, it's equally applicable on you as well. But if you're targeting 22, then very clearly it would be awesome, right? So I can see quite a few of you on the YT as well, and on the Gradeup app as well. Okay, so in case you missed the yesterday's session, make sure you guys watch it, and let me begin. Alright, so we are talking about vocab building. Today's part 2. If you have missed the part 1, make sure you attend that. Now, my name is Krishnendu Dutta, and if you do not have the Gradeup app even now, please quickly download it, because what you get on the app is simply non-comparable, right? तो काफी सारी चीजें हैं जो ऐप पे आपको मिल जाती है. My name is Krishnendu. You can follow me there as well. Okay. Now moving on quickly. If you have still not become a student at Gradeup, you still have the opportunity. The entire Gradeup subscription for 18 months is starting at 7399. That's the first installment. Okay, what you get is 300 plus live sessions, 80 plus mocks, 200 plus PDFs, and more than 7,000 questions, including GDPI and WNT preparation. Okay, so it's a comprehensive program. It covers practically everything. You do not need anything, and that too from the comfort of your home. Okay, probably the finest bunch of faculty members in India would teach you. That's the guarantee. है ना? तो अभी तक ज्वाइन नहीं किया है तो कर लेना. Just to add more, if you take Gradeup Super, for example, subscription, you cover all the exams. It's not only CAT, you cover CAT, IFT, ZAT, SNAP, TISNET, CET, or CMAT or NMAT, every single exam. कुछ भी छूटता नहीं है. If you have more queries, guys, you should call up at these numbers, talk to our counselors, and they would guide you more. Okay. Now moving on. If you look at our achievers list, the people who achieved being our student, you can see the list. We have 99 percentilers. We have very high achievers at NMAT as well. Indrajit, Dhanraj, good evening. Good to see you. So those of you on app and those of you on YouTube, you should say a quick hi so that I know you're there. Okay. So now if you ask what makes us different, if you look at the faculty profile at Gradeup, we first crack the paper and then we teach you. Okay, so it's not kitabi gyan, it's not bookish knowledge, it's practical knowledge. We teach what we learn from cracking these exams. Every single faculty here cracks the paper and then teaches you very clearly. Correct? So you can look at the profile of the faculty members. You can also do that on the Gradeup app as well. So you should have the app for sure. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at who else is present. Indrajit is there, and Sanika. Sanika, I think you were not there yesterday. Sony, I think I remember you. Ritik also is of course new. So no problem. You're most welcome, guys. And remember, there would be a series of these sessions. You can also tell me in the chat box by commenting what kind of sessions you require, what kind of areas you want me to cover. We would do that. Okay. कोई area हो तो बता देना. Cover कर लेंगे उसको. Okay. All right. So let's begin. So as I told you that we very clearly crack the paper first and then we teach. So we tend to teach what works and we avoid what doesn't work. So it's not pure old 30-40 years old gyan. It's cutting edge based on every year's experience. If you have still more queries, you can call up at these numbers. Okay. Now I'll repeat, if you have missed the yesterday's session, you should watch it on YouTube, because there are a couple of things I have covered there already. Okay, now I'll cover a couple of points today, very important. So let's begin. First of all, remember guys, if you're thinking about vocab, the first thing you should keep in mind is it's going to be hard work. मैंने कल ही बताया था, vocab building should not be taken lightly, though students tend to do that. It's like any skill that you acquire, time लगता है, मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, consistent hard work is required. But very clearly in today's world we want everything to be downloadable. हमें लगता है vocab भी download हो जाना चाहिए. Just go to Play Store, vocab gets downloaded in your head, but ऐसा नहीं होता है. You have to consistently work hard to imbibe those words, make them part of your vocab range, है ना? तो ऐसे नहीं होता. It doesn't work that way. So it requires consistent hard work, and therefore let me quickly tell you, try to spend at least 20 to 30 minutes on active vocab building every day. Active vocab building. You would learn words from listening to it or by reading also, but spend some time, 20 to 30 minutes every day, probably at night, on active vocab building. If you're watching this video after the class is over, session is over, then also it applies to you. Make sure you guys spend some active time on vocab building, and spend at least 15 to 20 minutes every day on reading a vocab book, even if it's 2 pages. Do that. Solve a vocab quiz quickly, it takes only 2 minutes. Go through a vocab website, vocabulary.com for example. Just spend 5 minutes there. You spend so much time on things like Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. You go to different blogs. Why not 5 minutes on vocab? You would reap the benefits. You would see the benefits. And play some vocab games also. They are available nowadays free of cost. You guys are very clearly very good at finding these things, right? So करके देखो. Spend some 20-30 minutes every day on active vocab building, 15-20 minutes on learning words, 10-15 minutes on these things. That's all. Consistently. The word is consistent. If you can't do it consistently, you should forget about building vocab. आप नहीं कर पाओगे. It's very obvious, right? So I must start with this. आपको करना तो पड़ेगा. Hard work is required. Okay. Abhijit will take care of that as well. Don't worry. और sessions होंगे अभी. Now, couple of recommendations quickly, guys. If you are a beginner, if you think we want a tiny, thin book, कि थोड़ी book मिल जाए, थोड़ा मजे से जल्दी पढ़ लूं, this is a good recommendation. It's by Wilfred Funk and Norman Lewis. It's 30 days to more powerful vocab. This should take you around 15 days to finish. 15 दिन में finish हो जाता है. काफी अच्छी book है. You can start with this. But then of course you can do the big daddy, that is Word Power Made Easy. बहुत लोग इससे शुरू करते हैं और frustrate हो जाते हैं because it's very fat and it takes time. This will take you at least a month to finish. 30 days तो लग जाता है. But my recommendation is start with the green one if you are new to it. Okay, then do this book. Don't start with this. आप frustrate हो जाओगे. है ना, क्योंकि अपने को क्विक रिजल्ट चाहिए होता है. That's the problem. Now you can also try, if you're a beginner, books like the book published by Magush. It's called Vocabulary Builder. It's a good one. It helps you learn words. So you can try this also. You can also try a very interesting book written by Manish Gupta. This guy is from Accelerate. He wrote a book called English Bites. It is about his journey of learning vocab. So उसने कैसे vocab सीखा, what kind of problems he faced, and he also shares some good insights about vocab building. तो काफी अच्छी है, पढ़ सकते हो. You can just download or maybe just order and read from Amazon. You can buy. Correct? It's a decent enough book. Pretty enjoyable overall. You can be fast, of course, while reading. Now, if you are not a beginner, if you have been working on vocab ठीक ठाक है तुम्हारी, you can try this book. This book is very dry, okay? ये काफी dry book है, थोड़ा दुखी कर सकती है. But if you are an enthusiast, this book has like n number of interesting words. अगर आपको इंटरेस्ट है ना, ये काफी अच्छी बुक है. It's very cheap. Amazon से अपनी बुक खरीद लो. It will cost you about 150 or something like that. Very good book, but it's not for beginners. So if you're a beginner, stay away from this book. ये आपको दुखी कर सकता है, काफी दुखी कर सकता है. Okay, तो इससे बच के रहना. But if you're an enthusiast, try it. I have my copy. It must be 15 years old, probably 10-15 years old. And even now, when I flip through it sometimes, I come across new words. अच्छा मुझे ये भी नहीं आता, अच्छा मुझे ये भी नहीं आता, ये भी नहीं आता. So you do feel great because it teaches you so many new things again and again. काफी सारी चीजें हैं इसमें जो मुझे नहीं आती होंगी. Very good book. Okay, but for enthusiasts, not for beginners. Now, if you have interest in English as language, if you want to know where English comes from, why English is so peculiar, which is not the case actually. English is not that peculiar. लोग कहते हैं, but every language has its own problems. Bill Bryson is a great author. You must read this guy. Okay, he has written another book called At Home, which I highly recommend because you can learn a lot of words and where do they come from and things like that from that book. But this one is purely about English. Very interesting author. You will learn lots of it, lots of things about English language. But it's not strictly vocab building book, but काफी अच्छी book है. Okay, so go for it. Read as much as you can. That will add. Now moving on, you can try some online stuff. For example, Gradeup quizzes, very good source. Have the app, guys, download it and you can play quizzes. They happen regularly. You can try Merriam-Webster quiz, you can try dictionary.com quiz, you can try QuizUp as an app, and you can try vocab.com also. They have very good resources. Gradeup का तो download पक्का ही कर लेना app को. You would get quizzes there also. We would come up with that. Abhilasha, hi Abhilasha, welcome, good to see you. Right now, moving on. Now, Indrajit, you can Google, मिल जाएगी आपको. वैसे I recommend you buy them because they're not very costly. Only Bill Bryson would be a little costly. The other books are very, very pocket friendly. And have your own book. Okay, so marking करना, spend some time. You would enjoy the process, right? Now, moving on. Do watch yesterday's session so that you know a few things that I have covered already. But when you build vocab, okay, when you build vocab, I'm taking it forward from yesterday's session. तो आपको word याद करने में problem होती है. Okay, and I have discussed it yesterday that you have to spend time with words. When you spend time with words, you tend to remember the words longer. आपको काफी time तक word याद रहता है. Okay, तो थोड़ा time spend किया करो. People are in tearing hurry. लोगों को बड़ी जल्दी होती है vocab रटने की. People typically think, students typically think vocab building means मैं 500 वर्ड लेके बैठूंगा और 3 दिन में याद हो जाना चाहिए. It simply doesn't happen like that. ऐसा होता नहीं है. You have to spend time. You have to spend time in creating hooks. Very important. Try to associate words with something funny or weird, which will help you remember. मैं आपको example देता हूँ. It happens with a lot of us. It happens with everyone, in fact, that a particular song reminds you of someone. A particular perfume reminds you of someone. होता है? नहीं होता है? So you hear that song and that person comes in your mind, or that particular event comes in your mind. Correct? It could be sad, it could be a nice feeling, कुछ भी, but it happens with all of us. Things get associated. Correct? People who have been through war, they develop an ingrained fear of noise of bombs and gunfire. उनको आवाज सुन के डर लगता है. If you have seen movies like Drishyam, you would see the girl becomes absolutely phobic of police. उसको पुलिस से डर हो जाता है. She sees police uniform and she starts shivering. Association. This is a very good tool to remember words. आप खुद use कर सकते हो. Spend 15-20 minutes every day doing all this, and your vocab would be tremendously advanced compared to others. Create a hook. How do we do that? I'll just discuss it. And of course, learn the correct meaning and use so that you can use them. अभी मैंने बताया था, if you don't use vocab, you will lose vocab because there is no way you can remember them. है ना? आपको याद नहीं रह सकता. Correct? Which means we have to associate, we have to learn how to remember the word, and then we have to also use the words, right? So we would learn how to associate, which is also known as mnemonics. That's what makes your vocab strong. Correct? So let's look at a question, for example. So let's start with a question. I want you to answer it. It is not a very hard one. मेरे ख्याल से आप सब आंसर कर सकते हो. Those on YouTube, I hope you guys can see the question on the app. I want your answer, everybody. So Ritik, Soni, Indrajit, Sanika, and others if you're there, Abhilasha, Abhijit. So I want you to answer it quickly. Jaldi se. I want you to definitely try. Okay. Let's see what's your answer, guys. And those on YouTube, I need you to like the video also. Reason being, then you get more recommendations quicker. Okay. All right. Let me see. Aditya says B. Ritik says D. Okay. And those on YT, please let me know. Sakshi says A. Aditya says B. Amarjeet says C. Kajal says Bombay. अच्छा मतलब A, B, C और D में लड़ाई चल रही है. हाँ, okay. A, B, C और D सब में लड़ाई चल रही है. Now let me help you with the answer. Okay. Even after running for 65 kilometers, the child prodigy Budhia did not feel any. Now if you run for 65 kilometers, तो आपको क्या फीलिंग आएगी? अगर मैं 65 किलोमीटर भागूंगा तो मेरी फीलिंग होगी कि बस जिंदा नहीं रहना. Correct? If you are a good runner, I don't know, then probably after 65 kilometers, one thing is for sure, you'll be very tired. Yes or no? Tiredness होगी कि नहीं होगी? मतलब you would be really, really tired. If you can at all run for 65 kilometers. Agreed? मैं तो भाग ही नहीं सकता. Unless somebody puts a gun on my head and says run. Now it says even after running for so much, इतना भागा, लेकिन ये बच्चा जो था X feel नहीं कर रहा था. What is this X? Now what is, let's see, frustration. Frustration feel नहीं कर रहा था. Don't you think it is out of context, guys? Frustration feel नहीं कर रहा था. Is it even relevant? Very clearly it is out. Salubriousness basically means healthfulness. The Buddha did not feel healthfulness. Doesn't go with it. Exhilaration basically means happiness, a feeling of excitement. Excitement. तो 65 किलोमीटर भागने के बाद बुधिया did not feel any excitement. Again doesn't go with it. Because यहाँ पे there is a contrasting phrase even after. यानी what is the expectation? 65 किलोमीटर भागेगा तो उसे कुछ फील होना चाहिए जो वो फील नहीं कर रहा. Now what is the practical expectation after running for 65 kilometers? कि बंदा थक गया होगा, है ना, बिल्कुल एनर्जी खत्म हो गई होगी उसकी. That's what is listlessness. Listlessness. Listlessness basically means thakawat, tiredness, which is also known as languor. Languor is nothing but thakawat, listlessness. So the correct answer is Bombay. And let me see who got it. Kajal got it right. Satish, hello Satish, good to see you. And Sony got it right. A. Sharma got it right. Pooja ka answer correct hai. Aditya is also right. Very good. So those of you who got it right, well done. बहुत बढ़िया. But I hope why the answer is B. है ना? Now, pause. Listen to me. Suppose you are working on your vocab. Suppose you are doing such questions, solving such questions, और तुम्हें ये word learn करना है. So how do you learn? Yesterday I have discussed it थोड़ा सा, आप उसको देख लेना. But the first thing is create a hook. Associate करो. Exhilaration. Exhilaration is the feeling of excitement when you do things like, अब associate करो. Exhilaration is the excitement when you get, for example, when you accelerate on a very powerful bike. Suppose you have a very powerful bike, like KTM sort of bikes, or Triumph type की कोई bike है तुम्हारे पास, या Ducati है, and you accelerate, you get that exhilaration. That feeling is exhilaration. So how do you associate? Associate this with acceleration. When you accelerate, or acceleration gets you exhilaration. Associate. You are not likely to forget the word very easily. तुम्हें word ज़्यादा time तक याद रहेगा. Acceleration gives you exhilaration. I'm pretty sure you know that feeling, है ना? पता तो होगा कैसा फील होता है. पावरफुल बाइक पे एकदम से भगाओ, रेस दो गाड़ी को, एंड बाइक भागती है जोर से, जबरदस्त. It can come in a good car also, right? Exhilaration from acceleration. Now, salubriousness. Salus in Latin means health. I associate this with Sallu Bhai. Sallu Bhai is famous for his body, well, health, right? Sallu Bhai is famous for his salubriousness, healthfulness. Associate karo. That's how you remember. I hope it is clear. Aditya, that's exactly what I'm discussing. You follow me? You able to follow me, everyone? तो थोड़ा और associate करते हैं. So what is languor? Languor is tiredness. Associate करते हैं. Langurs do not have it. Langurs have no languor. If you understand Hindi, you know langurs are basically these kind of monkeys. And they have no languor. They don't get tired. They are full of energy, jumping from here to there. Just associate. Langurs have no languor. Make sense this one, everyone? Yes or no? I'm just helping you with this. आपको खुद करना पड़ेगा, of course. I cannot naturally do it for you. करना तो आपको खुद पड़ेगा. But I hope it makes sense. You understood what I'm talking about? बात समझ आ रही है? Then, yesterday we have discussed it. Next step is do at least 5 synonyms. At least 5 synonyms. क्या करोगे? फटाफट से जाके use Google and find some synonyms. For example, languor is also called lassitude, lethargy, listlessness, torpor, fatigue, weariness, laziness, idleness, indolence, inertia, sluggishness, sleepiness, somnolence, drowsiness, innervation, and lifelessness. Now, इतने अगर तुमने synonym लिख लिए तो क्या होगा at the max? You will not remember all of this. भूल जाओगे. हो सकता है ये तो हमें पता ही है. These we know, idleness, inertia, ये तो simple वाले हैं, ये तुम्हें आते ही हैं. Fatigue, correct? Drowsiness, sleepiness, these you know. Sluggishness, lifelessness, these are simple. बाकी को 2 बार रिवाइज करो, 4 बार रिवाइज करो, go through it repeatedly, and आपको हफ्ते भर में देखोगे your vocab has expanded like a balloon. This is how you do it. Main word को associate करो, 5 synonym, 5 antonym कर लो. That's it. That's how you balloon your vocab. But this is hard work. This is not for the faint-hearted. सब नहीं कर सकते. But I hope you follow me. Yes or no? Let me know in the chat, guys. बात समझ में आ रही है? I am taking you to a path where the path is full of hard work, but the results are awesome. You can never beat a person who is good in vocab in VARC if you are weak in vocab. You just can't do that. आप नहीं कर सकते. You would never be able to do that. Vocab has so much application and implications in VARC. आप उसको beat ही नहीं कर सकते. तो अभी आप कह दो अच्छा ये lassitude नहीं याद हो रहा, तो कोई बात नहीं. I will help you. Let's create a hook. Lassitude. Now, if you are from North India, especially, तो लस्सी तो सुना होगा, है ना? I think you may have heard about it, even if you're from anywhere in India. This thing, especially from Punjab, is famous all over India. Am I right, guys? You must have heard about lassi, no? Lassi, made from curd. Very nice drink, बहुत बढ़िया. If you have not tried it, you should try. On a hot summer day, eat something nice. For example, chole bhature. Chole bhature is another North Indian dish. And eat and drink a glass of lassi. You would feel a very nice sense of tiredness. That tiredness is not bad one. It's very good. You feel, oh, let me just go to sleep. You would feel drowsy. Very nice drowsy. You get it after drinking wine, for example. That's called lassitude. Now, सब कह रहे हैं हाँ yes sir ये तो हमें पता है. वाह. My unique kingdom, good to see you. हाँ, साक्षी भी is saying definitely. ये तो मुझे पता है. I think most of you have the experience already. 2 प्लेट छोले भटूरे, 1 ग्लास लस्सी, 3 घंटे की नींद guaranteed. You will sleep even if the world is crashing and falling to bits. सोते रहोगे. That's lassitude. लस्सी पी के जो फीलिंग आती है ना, that's called lassitude. It actually comes from lassus in Latin, which means tired. Associate. I can guarantee जब भी लस्सी देखोगे लाइफ में तुम्हें वर्ड याद आएगा. यू मे नॉट रिमेंबर द एग्जैक्ट वर्ड बट यू विल लाइक एक वर्ड तो था यार लस्सी से, कुछ तो था, हमने डिस्कस किया था क्लास में. तनु, गुड टू सी यू. हेलो तनु, है कि नहीं? दिस इज व्हाट इज एसोसिएशन. ऐसे वर्ड याद करने होते हैं. Do this with 2-3 words per day. That's it. And keep on revising them. Do 5 synonym, 5 antonym. Do it for 2 months and then talk to me. Vaibhav, good to see you. अच्छा, My Unique Kingdom is talking about biryani also. बिरयानी भी खाना, चलो ठीक है, बिरयानी से भी हम वर्ड बना लेंगे, no problem. I think you like biryani a lot, huh? So suppose we talk about the word juxtapose. Juxtapose. Let's look at a sentence. We juxtaposed India with China on economic parameters. India has a lot to catch up with. Juxtapose. Create a hook. Juxtapose means just pose side by side. Just pose. Just pose is juxtapose. It actually means placing two things side by side for comparison. So मतलब ये होता है. याद हो गया? What is juxtapose? Just pose side by side. That's all. I hope you get it. You have to create hooks. I am giving you some examples. For example, suppose I'm trying to learn the word garish. Now, garish means something like this. Garish is when something looks too loud, too colorful, too gaudy, too ostentatious, showy, something which puts you off. Just look at this car, for example. जिसकी भी कार है, I have nothing against the person, उसकी पसंद है, but मानना पड़ेगा पसंद, है ना? So suppose your sense of dressing is very gaudy. Your sense of dressing is too loud. देखा होगा रैपर्स लोग, कुछ रैपर्स होते हैं ना, they wear weird clothes, right? येलो कलर का टॉप, नीचे I mean hoodie, then maroon color trousers and neon pink shoes, all those chains and whatnot. That's garish. Garish is like, you can say too funky actually. Pratik, that's correct. है ना? Too funky, too loud. It's not a good thing actually. It puts you off. कैसे याद रखेंगे? बहुत सिंपल है. If you see something which is garish, तो आपको ये वाली फीलिंग आती है, इश. You see something garish and आपको फीलिंग आती है, ये क्या है यार? What is this? What kind of a sense of dressing is that? What kind of a sense of clothing is that? What kind of a sense of color is that? Garish is nothing else but ish. Garish. Associate. And you would never forget words. That's the way of doing vocab. Apart from, of course, Aditya, no, it doesn't. Of course, Sonia, I hope you understood. Now just imagine if you think garish is something pleasant or something special, and you tell, suppose you meet a friend and he or she is wearing clothes and you say, yo, your clothes are so garish. Thinking that it means special, ho gaya. Your story is over. Kahani khatam. Market closed. Industry finished. Just imagine kya hoga. This is what is required from you. So before I let you go, guys, let me quickly tell you, I have taken one session yesterday, one session today. I just gave you some glimpse of what you can do to work on your vocab. I hope you would do all this, correct? You can let me know in the chat box or किस पे session चाहिए. For example, somebody told me parajumble. Done, करेंगे. Though I have taken one session, but कोई बात नहीं, will come up with more sessions. Do download the app, guys, so that when we have series there, you can attend. We do a lot of series on the app. तो आप वो भी अटेंड कर सकते हो, है ना? And Gradeup Super is something that you must consider buying, because that gives you the best course in India right now, run by the best faculty members and the very best of the course material. Okay, don't let this opportunity slip by. I hope you like the content. I hope it was useful. Start working on it and you would see that vocab would be really fun. Thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you so much for joining me and of course coming to this channel. Do subscribe and like so that you can get recommendations. Okay, I hope you would do that. Okay, errors. Okay, so grammar is what I'm getting and vocab sessions I am getting in the chat. Okay, we'll do that. And parajumble RC, fine, done guys, done. We'll do all this, no problem at all. Okay, done. Just show some love, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and those of you on the app, do rate the session. And thank you so much guys, it was lovely talking to you all. Let me know what else I can do for you. Okay, thank you guys, bye bye everybody, take care and do rate the session. Thank you everyone, bye bye.
दो ऑप्शंस है, सिर्फ प्रेप करो या ग्रेडअप के साथ सही प्रेप करो। ये है मिस आरती जासूस, कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम के इंडिया की सारी फैकल्टी के बारे में सब कुछ पता है।
वेंकट सर की क्लास के कॉन्सेप्ट्स और नीलम के क्लास के एग्जाम्पल और दीपक सर के वीडियोस में प्रीवियस ईयर्स के क्वेश्चंस।
इतनी फैकल्टी ढूंढ ली, अब तो एग्जाम क्लियर होगा ना?
आई डोंट नो।
आप सिर्फ सही प्रेप कीजिए और एक्सपर्ट फैकल्टी को आप तक लाने के लिए ग्रेडअप है ना।
ग्रेडअप के साथ सही प्रेप है
तो लाइफ सेट है।
Download now.